These drivers have been waiting all afternoon to entertain you fans here at Lucas Oil Raceway. The main event of the afternoon of the McGonigal Engine Performance CRA Fall Brawl. It's in 2014, presented by EDCO Welding. You know what to do by now. It's the fourth time this weekend. It's time to get up. Everybody stand up. Everybody get up. Come on. Get up, get up, get up, get up. This is the main event of the afternoon, the ARCA CRA Super Series, powered by Jegs. This is the running of the EDCO Welding 100, presented by Quartermaster.
A fool's lose control, caught up in this world. I've wasted time, I've wasted breath.
25 cars representing 11 different states and one Canadian province. Getting ready to go 100 laps here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Couple drivers making their ARCA CRA Super Series debut. Jordan Pruitt, the Gaylord Machine and Fabrication Chevrolet from Gaylord, Michigan, coming to us from the modified ranks up at the Dixie Motor Speedway, the Owasso Speedway. Also running this year in the Top Speed Fabrication iCar Modified Tour. Making his first start in a full-bodied late model here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Crew chief this weekend, three-time ARCA CRA Super Series champion Scott Hance.
One to go signal in the air, 100 laps of action. Caution flags will count up until lap 75. Then the caution laps will no longer count for the final 25 of today's EDCO Welding 100, presented by Quartermaster. It is the McGonigal Engine Performance Fall Brawl 2014, presented by EDCO Welding in the Super Series. Taking center stage for race number 4 of the afternoon. Heading pit side, the Coghlan Cars CRA Pace Car. It is Spencer Waters from Concord, North Carolina, and Yorktown, Indiana's Rick Turner bringing the field to green.
Chief Setter Brian Duncan, the green flag in hand, and we all racing here at Lucas Oil Raceway. And Rick Turner with a huge jump going into turn number 1, but Spencer Waters trying to regroup in the number 5 as Turner around the outside. Travis Braden to 3rd, Paul Schaefer Jr. to 4th. They go to turn 3 for the first time.
Braden expected to be very strong. The series point leader, defending champion, running the high lane in 3rd, looking for 2nd in moments. Following him, Brian Campbell, another driver. That's one of the favorites today. And after the Jegs race, you know who one of the big-time favorites are, that 8 car of John Hunter Nemechek. He didn't make his way into the lead after the first lap like he did in the first race today.
Spencer Waters has recoiled, looks to go back after the number 26 of Rick Turner for that lead. They come on turn number 4. Waters to the inside. Turner, though, to lead lap number 2. But here comes defending series champion, defending race winner and current points leader, Travis Braden.
Oh, it got dicey back behind him. Nemechek was in the middle of a sandwich, had Schaefer outside and Henrik inside. One car out the pace. It's a 3 of Reno. He's going to be calling it a day. It looks like rather early. Started this one 23rd and might finish in last. 3 laps on the board at the line. Rick Turner, the Y-Town hustler, gains a few car length advantage over the 01 of Braden. Here comes Brian Campbell in 3rd.
Campbell around the outside of Spencer Waters. Here comes John Hunter Nemechek to the inside of Waters. That is for the 4th spot. Nemechek looking for his 2nd win of the afternoon here in the Circle City. He'll go to the inside of Spencer Waters coming out of turn number 4. Give 4th spot to John Hunter Nemechek.
If you have a car that doesn't seem to be hurt by the momentum from the cars on the outside lane like Nemechek does in this race, he's able to turn underneath people and make passes. Look out. He could be tough to beat in this one. Nemechek on the move early up to 4th. The 2 in front of him, very strong candidates to win. He's got Waters behind him, rounding out the top 5.
A plethora of cars battling from 5th through 8th. The 98, Daniel Hemrick. Oh, what a save by Daniel Hemrick going down the front stretch. He was all kinds of sideways.
Yeah.
And allows Chad Finley to get up in the 6th spot in the 42. Spencer Waters back in the field. He may have tapped the wall down the next stretch.
And Waters, the reason there was a sideways Hemrick on the front stretch is he closed the door just a little bit too early on Waters in the front stretch. He did a great job to save it. Waters then got in the wall in the back stretch as he tried to regroup off of the 2nd turn. His car with some noticeable marks on the right side tires from the painted wall, and then he gets squeezed by the car to the inside. Brandon Oakley coming off it too. So Spencer Waters bit of a pinball right now.
This time by 7 laps completed, 93 laps to go. Your all-time career leader in most starts in ARCA CRA Super Series history, Rick Turner out in front, the 26. Turner, your leader, battle for second. The 01 of Travis Brayton, the 47 of Brian Campbell.
For a few races, Brian Campbell was stout. Then a recent race didn't have quite as good of a run, but he's got it back running strong again this weekend. One of the top qualifiers, and right now Brian Campbell challenging point leader Travis Brayton for the second spot. At one point this year, Campbell was leading the standings. Looked like he was on his way to maybe a championship, and then just bad luck after bad luck striking the 47 of Campbell. He's running pretty strong so far today.
A bad crash on August 2nd over Columbus Motor Speedway knocked him out of title contention. He missed the next several races at Kalamazoo, Flat Rock, Winchester, and Gilcare. But now Campbell back in force in the ARCA CRA Super Series, planning to finish this race, obviously, as well as the Winchester 400. Casey looks to challenge Travis Brayton for second spot. In the meantime, the Y-Town hustler, 56-year-old Rick Turner out in front.
Will Gallagher with mechanical issues on the front stretch last time by. He was running pretty deep in the pack. In fact, back in 22nd, big time smoke came out, rode it down coming off of 2, dropped to the bottom and goes to the pits. Will Gallagher in car 5 from Santa Rosa, California, pit side. And Campbell up into the wall. Turn number 3, problems for Brian Campbell in the 47. Just when we talked about how his bad luck had seemed to turn around, Campbell was running strong in 3rd, and up into the wall he goes in 3.
Brian Campbell, the Boyne Machine Company Ford from Wyoming, Michigan, up against the turn 3 wall, bringing out the first caution flag of the afternoon for the EDCO Welding 100, presented by Quartermaster.
Rick Turner had a nice opening start, and now he'll try it on the restart. Lap 18 across the line with the green waves coming off of turn 4. Turner outside, Brayton inside. Let's see if Hemrick can follow Turner in the outside lane into second, and right now he's got a great opportunity to do just that as Hemrick pulls alongside Brayton for second. It's Nemechek in the 4th spot. Great run for Hemrick. Turner nearly gets up in the wall, made it a close call coming off of 2. Hangs on to the lead. 2nd and 3rd place battle continues. Hemrick actually boxed in a little bit. I think he's strong enough to make a move and kind of closes down a little bit on him in turn 4 as we continue in 2nd and 3rd.
Turner watching a battle behind him between a pair of 2013 series champions. Daniel Hemrick, the Southern Super Series champion from a year ago. Travis Brayton, defending ARCA CRA Super Series champion, running 2nd and 3rd. Behind the Y-Town hustler, Rick Turner. We're 1/5 of the way in, 20 laps completed, 18 laps to go.
Turner has a challenger for the lead position. Hemrick dropping to the low side. Daniel Hemrick inside lane. Will he go back to the top and drop in line? Yes, he will for now. Doesn't want to allow Brayton to get back to the high side of him. His 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are nose to tail. Brayton's car very strong through the middle of the corners, but he just got stuck on that inside lane. That's when he lost the 2nd position. Also watching is Ross Kenseth in the 77. Brandon Oakley in the 51. Paul Schaefer. They're getting pretty racy just out of the top 5.
And just behind Oakley, running in the 9th spot, is the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. He just got by the number 5 of Dominic Van Wieringen, who completes the top 10. Behind Van Wieringen, a little bump and rub with Fisher as Brandon Watson looks to the inside.
And Watson does take a look to the low lane of the 5 of Van Wieringen. Looking at Watson's car that time by, it looks like he scuffed up the right side at some point or another. The right side tires just had that look like they may have scuffed up through the wall 1 lap or so earlier in this race. For the 4th position, it's Chad Finley making a move to the inside of John Hunter Nemechek. 2 of our drivers that have raced in both events today. Finley's 1st event in the Jags race was a short one.
Finley and Nemechek battle for the 4th spot. Well, right behind them, battle for 6th, the 7 of Paul Schaefer Jr., the 77 of Ross Kenseth. Brandon Oakley is in the 8th spot. Go back in the field a little bit. A very quiet Hunter Robbins in the 18 machine, the Montgomery, Alabama driver. Looking to the inside of Brandon Watson for 11th.
11th position battle continues between the 9 of Watson, the 18 of Robbins. Robbins goes back up to the outside lane. Following him now will be Chris Kozlik, the Grand Rapids, Michigan driver. He has run to the outside of Griffith to pick up a spot just out of the top 10.
battles continue. Griffith, Kozlik, and Hermiller. That's 13, 14, and 15. And a good run by Jordan Pruitt in the number 8 machine. He went to the back of the field, pitted under the last caution flag. Pruitt, in his debut, up to 16th.
And we saw him have some damage to the front of the car when he was checking up for one of the mishaps. Got some damage on the front end. They've got the hood taped down after it was buckled. Man, back in the field saw nearly a mishap as Kimmel took some contact from the 78 of Will Olmstead. Olmstead in the process opens up the door to the inside lane.
Up front, it remains the Y-Town hustler, Rick Turner, out in front, the number 26. Daniel Hemrick content to ride in second, 4 now. Travis Braden, third in the 0-1 machine. The battle for fourth continues. Chad Finley to the inside of John Hunter Nemechek. He may get him this time, but no, Nemechek with the momentum coming off a 2.
That far inside lane, good for Finley up until the exit of turn number 2 when he loses all that momentum that Finley has Nemechek keeping in the outside lane. He just has to drop back in line behind him. But Finley, after a disappointing first race today, pretty stout in race number 2 for him this afternoon.
John Hunter Nemechek remains in 4th. Chad Finley is 5th. Paul Schaefer Jr. has gotten away from Ross Kenseth. Schaefer solidly in 6th as he'll look to close the gap on the 42 of Chad Finley. 29 laps completed that time by Rick Turner, extending that lead now over Daniel Hemrick and Travis Braden.
Nemechek, who was very strong in our first race to pick up the dominating victory after setting fast times in the Jake CRA All-Stars Tour, kind of just riding right now in the 4th position. He's been challenged by Finley a couple times, but not so sure that Nemechek is going to have it quite as easy in this race as he did in race 1.
30 laps completed, 70 laps to go. The EDCO Welding 100 presented by Quartermaster. Rick Turner has led all 30 laps so far in that McGonigal Engine Performance Ford. Daniel Hemrick 2nd, Travis Braden, John Hunter Nemechek, Chad Finley your top 5. Then you got Paul Schaefer Jr. running in 6th, the number 7. The 77 Ross Kenseth is 7th. The 51 Brandon Oakley is 8th. 81 Terry Fisher Jr. 9th. The 5 Dominique Van Wieringen rounding out the top 10.
Running 11th, Brandon Watson. 12th, Hunter Robbins. Battle for 13th continues. Kozlik on the outside, Griffith on the inside. And rounding out our top 15, another number 8 ride back there. That's Jordan Pruitt, who's having a solid event after having to go to the pits a couple times to repair damage.
And Pruitt searching for a way around the 23 of Chris Kozlik as well as the 33 of Wes Griffith Jr. Pruitt with the momentum on the high side could pull up next to Griffith. But up front, it remains Rick Turner, your leader, the 26. But now Daniel Hemrick starting to feel racy to the inside.
Hemrick taking a look to the low lane of Rick Turner. Pulls up alongside of him in 1 and 2. But again, uses that low lane. Should help Turner exit the second corner. Hemrick stays up to the bumper, basically, heading into 3. Hemrick not giving up yet. Very talented young driver Daniel Hemrick on the inside lane. Numerous wins and championships to his credit. Still drives legend cars as well, and just drives about anything you'll put him in, and he normally ends up in victory lane or at least challenges for it. Hemrick has to drop back up in line behind the 26 of Rick Turner.
And Travis Braden just lurking back there in the 3rd spot in the 0-1 machine as Rick Turner continues to show the way, the number 26. Turner to lead lap 35, 65 laps to go. Now Travis Braden looking to challenge Daniel Hemrick, showing the bumper that time by. Backs off going into 1 and 2.
Rick Turner would like to see those two behind him battle a little bit. I think those are the only two right now that have anything for Turner, the veteran driver. Leading in all-time series starts with the ARCA CRA Super Series, which today makes its and took its 300th green flag in series history.
A very special race in the 18-year history of the ARCA CRA Super Series, and one of the stalwarts of the tour. Rick Turner continues to show the way. A couple young lions behind him. 23-year-old Daniel Hemrick is 2nd. 20-year-old Travis Braden 3rd. But here goes Hemrick to the inside.
Hemrick challenging low again, and 1 and 2 this time. Didn't go quite as low as he did earlier. That will help him keep some of his momentum up coming off of the second turn. Stays up almost wheel to wheel with Turner heading into 3. Rick Turner trying to fit off a straight They've got Braden fighting to the outside, and this is a chance if Hemrick can't pull this off, Braden may end up in second.
Turner led that lap as he go into turns 1 and 2. Hemrick trying to clear Turner, but no. Turner with the momentum on the high side. They remain side by side. Hemrick pulls out with a slight edge, but Turner trying to keep that momentum built up on the high side. Hemrick looking to clear him coming out of 4.
Not quite yet, and Turner had a great turn number 4 at the line. Hemrick by a couple of feet. Can Turner fight back? Hemrick's better in 1 and 2. But in the middle of the corner, Turner gets the advantage, not quite. Down the backstretch still. Great battle for the race lead. Going to be 40 complete, 60 to go this time. And Hemrick almost clearing Turner. Going to try to go up in front of him and does.
Hemrick finally clears Rick Turner to take over the lead. Lap number 40 now, Travis Braden to the inside of Rick Turner for the second spot. Gives second here for defending series champion and current points leader. Shuffling Rick Turner back to third. Turner leading the first 38 laps.
Grand Rapids, Michigan driver Will Olmstead in the 78 has made his ride into the pits. Trouble coming off of turn number 2. Dominic Van Wieringen, look out. Oncoming car in turn number 2, and able to get it mowed down and turns left underneath Van Wieringen, but problems for the Amherstburg, Ontario, Canada driver Dominic Van Wieringen. A spin in corner 2. So Turner was able to hold off some strong challenges for a while using that outside lane. Now he is stuck on the bottom. Hemrick on the outside starts to pick up the pace entering 3. It's going to be a quick start down in turn 4. This actually helps Turner out as he goes to the outside, now tries to get back down. Nemechek to the outside, some contact made between he and Turner. That could have gotten extremely ugly heading into the first turn.
That kind of propelled Turner around the high side to keep the second spot with Travis Braden. Chad Finley to 4th down the 42 machine. Braden Turner battle for second, give to Braden second spot.
And that contact on the front stretch hurt the 8 of Nemechek. His car is off the pace. He is the meat in a sandwich right now between the 51 of Oakley and the 77 of Kenseth. Nemechek off the pace, needing to get down and probably go to the pits here soon, as Nemechek's car will not turn.
Up front, Daniel Hemrick in the 98 machine. Checking out from the field. Travis Braden second, Chad Finley third, Rick Turner 4th, and out the 17-year-old rookie from Portage, Indiana, Paul Schaefer Jr. now in the top 5.
Got a little dicey back in the field as they continue to go around the 8 of Nemechek, Kozlik, as well as the white 8 car of Pruitt ready to make moves, as the 5 of Van Wieringen back to the pits with more issues.
48 laps completed that time by 52 laps to go, approaching the halfway point of the EDCO Welding 100 presented by Quartermaster. As Rick Turner starting to fall back, Paul Schaefer Jr. to 4th, Ross Kennedy to 5th. Here goes Brandon Oakley to the inside of Turner. That is for 6th. Westcovich Jr. is right there. So is Hunter Robbins and Brandon Watson.
Oakley started 10th. He's up to the 6th spot, just 1 spot out of the top 5 after his first career series victory at Kilcare. He's won some big races, but most of those just track sanctioned events at Kilcare and Columbus. And there's some contact. Rick Turner in the 26 gets some contact from Hunter Robbins, as Turner, who once was leading him, was in great shape to pick up a podium finish, has now been mired into the second half of the field.
Oh, and Hunter Robbins goes sideways. Caution flag out. Everybody taking evasive action. Everyone doing a great job to avoid the spinning Hunter Robbins. Coming on to turn number 4. Caution flag will fly.
Into turn 4. Braden going to give it a whirl to try to stay alongside Hemrick. The green is out. Hemrick takes the advantage coming to the green.
And here comes Paul Schaefer Jr. Here comes Chad Finley. Going to make it 3 wide. The turns 1 and 2. Finley wisely backs off just enough to let Braden Schaefer go. He tucks right back in behind your 2nd and 3rd place cars.
Schaefer racing on the outside of Braden for the 2nd spot. Schaefer having a great run this afternoon, and a chance, because he restarted in 4th, to take 2nd away from the 0-1 of Travis Braden. I think he's going to get him. Big smoke back in the field from the 8 of Nemechek. Nemechek heading into 1 and 2 with heavy smoke on the 8 run.
Dominic Dominique Van Weeringen returns to the track in the number 5 machine just in front of the leader. She wisely backs down to the very inside lane, lets the leaders go. Good move by number 5 with Dominique Van Weeringen, who is 9 laps off the pace. John Nemechek, as you mentioned, lots of smoke.
Got some
coming
tires.
from that machine.
Nice, maybe some tire smoke out the left rear quarter of that machine. Right now pulling away the 98 of Hemrick. Schaefer looking strong though in second. Braden actually falling back a couple car lengths in third. Chad Finley having a nice run. Griffith off the pace for a moment. I think he just bobbled a bit as he runs the inside lane through 1 and 2.
Brandon Oakley in the top 5. Winner of our last race 2 weekends ago over Kilcare's Raceway in Xenia, Ohio. Oakley in the top 5. He started 10th. Ross Kenza the 6th. Brandon Oakley 7th. Brandon Hermiller up to 8th. Westerman Juniors falling back to 9th. Jordan Pruitt rounding on the top 10.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth. That's where the action may heat up eventually. Braden, a driver that we see come on late in races a lot of times, and that could be the case today. Brandon Watson making a strong run into turn 3. He's trying to close the gap that Ross Kenseth has on him. Kenseth currently running 6th. Running 7th is Brandon Watson.
Watson trying to get away from Brandon Hermiller in the 6 machine. Battle for 9th at 33 of Westerman Jr. The 8 of Jordan Pruitt. As Griffith, the Seneca Performance Rookie of the Year points leader, battling with the driver, making his ARCA CRA Super Series debut, and Pruitt smacks a turn 4 wall.
Pruitt's car looks to be okay on the way down the front stretch. Doesn't have any tire rub. Goes in through 1 and 2. Car still turning fine. So Pruitt dodging a little bullet there as he gets into the wall, but the car still seems to be running okay. Down to our final 38 laps to go for Daniel Hemrick.
Daniel Hemrick, the winner of the Redbud 300 back in June up at Anderson Speedway. Looking for his 2nd victory of 2014 in the ARCA CRA Super Series. Just completed his season with the Southern Super Series where he finished 2nd in the points to Bubba Pollard. Now Hemrick enjoying a little bit of a postseason, if you will, for the Kannapolis, North Carolina driver.
John Hunter Nemechek on pit road. He comes to a stop, and they're not running for points, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just call it a day. They actually look to the left front, and Nemechek has climbed out from behind the wheel of his machine. And second place battle heating up again. Travis Braden has run down the 7 of Schaefer. He wasn't able to get too far away. Was a few car lengths ahead at one point, but now Braden starting to get a little antsy. Car coming around. Maybe the other competitors drop off a little bit. Braden's car continues to run strong. And for second, he's about to make his move.
Schaefer Jr. with a back bumper full. Your defending series champion and current points leader Travis Braden. Chad Finley makes it a 3-car battle. 2nd through 4th goes careening through turns 3 and 4 here at Lucas Oil Raceway. In the meantime, Daniel Hemrick continuing to show the way. 65 laps completed, 35 to go.
3-car battle for the 7th position. Brandon Watson, Brandon Hermiller, and Wes Griffith. 4th position. 3 of the closest running cars on the racetrack at this juncture. Middle of the back stretch as it's the 9 of Watson holding him off so far.
Travis Braden taking a peek at the high side, but Paul Schaefer Jr. slams the door. Coming out of turn number 4, Braden had to check up to avoid running in the back end of the 17-year-old. Now Braden trying to recoil, looking to recharge back after Schaefer Jr. going into 3 and 4.
Remember when we were here in July, the lane that Kyle Busch was running, that's where Braden was moments ago, right up along the wall, trying to make that move to the outside. He nearly made it work before Schaefer closed the door on him coming off of 4. And remember, it was Nemechek and Busch that were doing that with one another earlier this year when they competed here the last time in July.
Behind Finley, who's 4th, the 51 of Brandon Oakley, solidly in 5th, the 77 Ross Kenza the 6th, battle for 7th. A pair of Seneca Performance rookies, the 33 of Westerman Jr., the 9 of Brandon Watson. Right behind them, the 6 of Brandon Hermiller, the 8 Jordan Pruitt rounding out the top 10. But up front, Daniel Hemrick continues to extend that lead.
69 laps this time at the stripe. Braden definitely quicker than Schaefer. His car rolling the center of the corners extremely well, but Schaefer has his car in the preferred groove, that high outside lane, and just nowhere to go for the 01 of Braden, at least nowhere to go that that's good enough to get around the 7 of Schaefer.
And Chad Finley right there as well, the number 42 machine. Finley perhaps waiting to see what Braden does with Schaefer, and maybe hopes to follow suit as Braden to the inside of Schaefer coming down the front stretch.
Might drive it in pretty deep right here. This is one of the best runs he's had on the 7 of Schaefer. He does pull alongside. Schaefer gets a good run coming off of 2. He's going to inch back forward. Schaefer nearly clearing the 0-1 of Braden again. He does heading to 3 as Travis Braden just can't quite get the 7 of Schaefer, and this is allowing the 98 of Hemrick to check out.
Paul Schaefer Jr. running the race of his life in his brief ARCA CRA Super Series career. A career high finish this last month of a 4th on the tight quarter mile of Flat Rock Speedway up near Detroit, Michigan. Now Schaefer on track considerably bigger. A great run, 2nd spot, trying to hold off Travis Braden.
And Braden tries one more time to the inside. Maybe a little bit of rubbing around the finish line. They're wheel to wheel. Pretty good run for Braden here as they go up the track. And again, Schaefer coming off of 2, pulls back forward. Here's Braden again.
Chad Finley with the best seat in the house to watch the battle for 2nd and 3rd between the 7 of Paul Schaefer Jr., the 0-1 of Travis Braden. Braden got a little sideways, coming out of turn number 4, tucks back in behind Schaefer as they head to 1 and 2. Finley remains in 4th. 5th spot, the 51 of Brandon Oakley, the 77 of Ross Kenseth.
And Braden in that points battle with Kenseth this season. Braden wants to win this race, but he doesn't want to take any terrible chances. Cost him big points today in his pursuit of his 2nd straight championship in CRA competition.
Braden again to the inside of Paul Schaefer Jr., but again the 17-year-old from Portage, Indiana, works that high side around the 0-1 of Travis Braden. Meantime, up front, Daniel Hemrick continues to show the way, 3/4 of the way through the EDCO Welding 100 presented by Quartermaster.
It's almost amazing that there hasn't been any contact between 2nd and 3rd yet. I would almost say it's got to happen sometime with 25 laps to go. Braden bound to get a little impatient as he's going to try to make his move. Jordan Pruitt and Brandon Hermiller swapping spots back in the field as Pruitt running in the number 9 position.
But up front, it is Daniel Hemrick continuing to show the way, the 98 machine. Paul Schaefer Jr., Travis Braden continue to battle for 2nd and 3rd. Chad Finley right there, lurking, waiting for something to happen between Braden and Schaefer. Now Braden back to the inside. He's got a good run into 3 and 4, but here comes Schaefer right back around the high side. A little bobble coming out of 4.
I think he probably wanted to just go up the banking and try to pull off the slide job, but when he checked up in the middle of the corner to avoid maybe going up and making some contact, Schaefer shot back around him like out of a cannon, and right now Schaefer holds on to 2nd. Getting down to the final stages of this one. Long green flag run this afternoon.
The 42 of Chad Finley is 4th. The 51, Brandon Oakley is 5th. 77, Ross Kenseth is 6th. Seneca Performance Rookie of the Year points leader, Wes Kimmett Jr. is in 7th. The 9, Brandon Watson 8th. The 8, Jordan Pruitt is 9th. The 6, Brandon Hermiller rounding out the top 10. Rick Turner has fought his way back to 11th.
Braden looking high on Schaefer for 2nd. Schaefer slides up in front of him coming off of turn number 4. Just cannot make that Kyle Busch lane work, and that's because Schaefer's protecting out there now. He was up along the wall and 1 and 2 himself.
Paul Schaefer Jr. in a bit of a battle of his own for the Rookie of the Year title with the 33 of Wes Kimmett Jr. He doesn't want to lose any spots as Griffith now starting to feel racy. He'll look to the inside of Ross Kenseth.
It's got to be a frustrating season to this point for Kenseth. I mean, he's been consistent. He's had top 10 runs race after race, some top 5 runs as well. Problem is, he just can't get into victory lane, and today is going to be another case of that, where his car's pretty good, but just not good enough to win.
Now Braden to the inside of Paul Schaefer Jr. one more time for that 2nd spot. They come out of 4. Schaefer with the slight advantage, but Braden gonna dive bomb into 1 and 2 as they continue to battle for 2nd. Daniel Hemrick says, keep on battling, boys.
And I think I said something about maybe there being some contact. I believe we saw some down in 3 and 4 that time when they were side by side, wheel to wheel, as Braden maybe slid up up into the 7 car of Schaefer a little bit, and now right on the rear bumper. Maybe trying to loosen him up coming off of 4. Tough place to pass. You've got all that room, and that's what right now Braden is doing, going down to use it. But even though there's all that room down there, it doesn't do you any good because you lose so much momentum trying to pinch it on the bottom.
And Paul Schaefer Jr. has worked that outside lane masterfully. The 17-year-old from Portage, Indiana, the South Lake Body Chevrolet, rookie title contender, running a great race, holding off defending series champion, defending CRA Fall Brawl winner Travis Braden, while Chad Finley has had the best seat in the house over the last 30-some laps of the second place battle.
It is fun watching second and third battle. Also, Kenseth continues to try to hold off Griffith for the 6th position, and Braden making another run at Schaefer. Can't quite do it. Finley still in the very good spot to watch that, and Pruitt just blew up heading into 1. This is going to be ugly. Drivers getting up in the fluid. 6 of Hermiller slows it down. Others able to avoid. I thought that was going to be a lot worse, Matt, because Pruitt blew up heading down into turn number 1, put the fluid down, and Hermiller got into it. But somehow, some way, the spotters get the word to their drivers very quickly. Everyone else able to turn left, get underneath it, because that could have been a wild pile up in turn 1.
Definitely, that could have been a lot worse, but unfortunately, Jordan Pruitt, the Gaylord, Michigan driver, the 27-year-old in the Gaylord Machine Fabrication Chevrolet, grenading a motor perhaps going into turn number 1. Everyone taking evasive action to trying to spin to avoid lots of fluid. Eight laps to go now for Hemrick as Paul Schaefer Jr. has held off the advances of Chad Finley for now. Ross Kenseth right there as well in 4th in the 77. Travis Braden fit the battle for 6 now. Braden only trying to hold on. A suddenly very quick Wes Griffith Jr.
Griffith, yes, he's had a good second half of this race, and Turner continues to move forward. You know, Rick Turner led for a good while early in this event, and then had a problem after a restart. He and Nemechek got together in a race for real estate on the front stretch. But Turner, after some pit stops and some adjustments, has been able to recover, and recover quite nicely as he's in our top 10 racing for 8th.
And up front, Daniel Hemrick continues to show the way. 6 laps to go for Hemrick. Paul Schaefer Jr. hanging on to that 2nd spot. Chad Finley 3rd, Ross Kenseth 4th, Travis Braden 5th. Laps continue to click off, this time by 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go for Daniel Hemrick.
Hemrick build up, maybe 1/3 straightaway lead there after the restart, and it's kind of stabilized at that point right now as Schaefer, Finley, and Kenseth run nose to tail, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm surprised how well Kenseth is running right now, as he really didn't show anything over the first 80 laps or so today, but Kenseth really a chance to get up there and contend for 2nd.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th nose to tail. They go through turns 1 and 2 one more time. Paul Schaefer Jr. trying to hang on for his best career finish in the ARCA CRA Super Series. But Daniel Hemrick has checked out in the 98 machine, 3 laps away from a 2nd pair of boxing gloves.
Hemrick cruising on this Sunday evening at Lucas Oil Raceway. We've got single file formation back until the tail end or so of our top 10, as Fisher in the 81 running in 10th, as the 18 of Robbins, and the 5 of Waters right behind him there in the battle.
98 laps completed, 2 laps to go for Daniel Hemrick, looking for his 2nd win of the 2014 season in the ARCA CRA Super Series. Paul Schaefer Jr. trying to hang on for his best career finish. He's got some stout competitors behind him in Finley, Kenseth, and Braden, but the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go for Daniel Hemrick.
Final lap for Daniel Hemrick. Started this race in the 5th position. The Kannapolis, North Carolina driver takes it through 1 and 2. The battle for 2nd continues between Finley and Schaefer. Schaefer might be on his way to his best CRA Super Series run through turn 3 into 4. The Jack Links Beef Jerky Jubilee Conferences Ford. Number 98, Daniel Hemrick to the Fall Brawl victory. Schaefer second, third spot to Finley, fourth to Kenseth, and Braden finishes fifth.
Weskovic Jr. comes home in sixth. The 51 of Brandon Oakley will finish in seventh. The 9 of Brandon Watson scored in eighth. The 26, Rick Turner ninth. 81 of Terry Fisher rounding out the top 10. Hunter Robbins finishes 11th. Spencer Waters 12th. Dalton Sargent 13th. Allie Kern 14th. Chris Koslick 15th. Brent Jack 16th. Will Gallagher 17th. Those are the cars on the lead lap. Finishing 18th, the 78 of Will Olmstead. 19th, the 8 of Jordan Pruitt. 20th, the 6 of Brandon Hermiller. 21st, the 69 of Will Kimmel. 22nd, the 5, Dominic Van Weeringen. 23rd, the 8, John Hunter Nemechek. 24th, the 3, Dennis Reno Jr. And rounding out the field, the 47 of Brian Campbell.